What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Revolt Sports Weekly. Today is my bread and butter, okay? Because we are going to be talking strictly NBA. I'm so excited because I haven't gotten to do a catch-up since this season started, but we're in the thick of the in-season tournament, And I do want to say, before I get into the season, the in-season tournament, as far as the changes in the NBA have gone, not really my favorite. I mean, I don't really understand when it's going on versus when it's not. I don't really care about it. Not a big fan. Play-in tournament, huge fan. But the in-season, couldn't really care less. However, the season started out hot. Besides that, we kicked off the NBA season with overtimes, gambling arrests, injuries, and upsets. We are now 12 games in out of 7 million, and changes are being made. So we've got to start off with the hottest news of the week. The Mavs have fired general manager Nico Harrison. And I've been very vocal about my feelings on Nico Harrison. I will say general managers are typically scapegoats for whatever the owner wants to have going on. So keep that in mind. He became the face of choosing to trade Luka, when really that decision, you can't make a decision that big without the higher ups being on your team about something like that. So I kind of feel for Nico in the sense that he became the face of, I got rid of Luka Doncic. And, there were more people involved in that decision than just him. However, looking into Nico Harrison's track record, he has made a few key mistakes that have made the public really hate him. Starting from long ago, a lot of y'all may not know this, but he is the man behind Steph Curry being with Under Armour. You see, Steph Curry and his father came in for a presentation for Nike. When a player that's a young star is shopping for their sneaker home, it's like dating. Like they're trying to find their life partner. It's a really big deal for a young star. And so could you imagine Steph Curry walking into Nike and Nico Harrison showing him a presentation that was made for Kevin Durant with Kevin Durant's name all over it? And allegedly, Nico Harrison called him Seth. Speaking of Steph Curry and sneakers, Steph is a sneaker free agent. So looks like he's back being that kid again, not only dropping 45 points, but also out shopping for a new sneaker partner. So Curry Brand has parted ways from Under Armour. Being as nosy as I am, I've done all the digging that I can do on the situation as an outsider, but according to Sportico, it looks like Under Armour simply didn't want to spend the money anymore. I guess they didn't think Steph Curry was worth the coin. That's crazy. And, being a content creator, I don't know if this is the right thing for me to say. No shade, Under Armour. They've always been good to me. Ain't nobody buying that without Steph Curry's name on it. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Most of the Under Armour I own has either been sent to me and lovely clothes, beautiful gowns, or I bought it at TJ Maxx on a huge markdown. They need Steph. I don't know where they got this idea. It's a part of this effort to cut these unnecessarily expensive celebrity contracts that Under Armour has going on. I can't think off the top of my head of any other ones besides Steph Curry that are that notable Under Armour. But this is all, you guessed it, to compete with Nike. This is all an effort to compete with the big dog. The thing is, the Curry Brand is now independent, and he could choose to just be the Curry Brand, not tie himself to anybody, make his own shoes, go his own way, forge his own path. Or he could choose to bring the Curry Brand to another brand and be the Jordan of New Balance. You know what I mean? I hope he doesn't do that. I want to see him at Nike. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It seems like the best fit for me. And when you're that guy, you're at Nike. And if Under Armour is attempting to compete with Nike by getting rid of all of their celebrities, I mean, you seem to be competing in a different, that seems more, you're just in the regular athletic wear brand aisle, you're not playing with the Nikes and the Adidases, because that's their whole thing. Is having celebrities that they pay a lot of money to wear their sneakers for the rest of their life, to put them in sneaker jail and have them only wear their brand for the rest of their life for millions and millions of dollars. That's the whole thing, Under Armour. I don't know what they've got going on, but apparently they seem to think that it's not going to hurt them financially. All right, know your worth then, Under Armour. I might not be familiar with your game, but they are still releasing the Curry 75, I don't know, 13, 15, 14. They're releasing another Curry shoe. And I'm sure Steph Curry is like, okay, buy the shoe, don't buy the shoe. I don't care. I'm taking my talents elsewhere. Steph, go to Nike. Just do it. Ah, that wasn't even on purpose. The next thing that Mavs fans really don't like Nico Harrison about is the fumble of Jalen Brunson. Now, I am a big fan of Jalen Brunson and his story and his arc, and I believe that had this not happened, he wouldn't be the player that he is today, to be honest. So I think this worked out very well for Jalen Brunson. For the Mavs, however, they've been struggling with their point guard situation ever since. No, I mean, it's not Kyrie's fault, but like, come on. It is a little bit of a weird omen that ever since they have had weird point guard situations. And I will say, Nico choosing to let Jalen Brunson walk and then him becoming an all-star caliber player, him becoming the leading man on a really good team, him taking the Knicks farther than they ever been before, him not, well, you know what I mean. Since I've been, speaking and talking and going to school and an adult and stuff, you guys know what I mean. But him taking them to the places that he has and Nico Harrison essentially not believing in him. And then the straw that broke the camel's back. Trading Luka Doncic. I just want to relive this for a moment because I'm honestly glad that it happened because things were getting a little dry in the NBA. I'm not going to lie, around the time of that Luka trade, like that happening really dialed the people back in. It was incredible. I don't know if it's incredible work by the Lakers. You look at their track record of stars and they're like, okay, LeBron seems to be on his way out. Y'all hate when I say that, but he does seem to be. I mean, the man's in his 40s. Who's going to be the next up and coming of LeBron? Should we draft somebody? No, Luka Doncic. Like, do you know how insane that is? That's a generational talent that Nico Harrison just gave to them. They probably would have given up more for Luka. That's the crazy part. And I get it. Anthony Davis is a very talented player. He's injury prone. Y'all, the man is made of paper mache. I'm sorry. I don't know how you can be that big and have all of these issues with your body. Like, yo. And I said that right when the trade happened. People were so mad at me. People are sleeping on AD. They got the full experience for, what was it, 3 quarters? Of AD. They got the full AD experience. Him getting on the floor. Him playing incredibly, right? And then him going down. The faithful yet inevitable AD going down. I mean, you can hear a pin drop in an arena when that one happens. And look, I don't want to sound insensitive. I'm not looking forward to anybody getting hurt at all. It's a part of sports, and that's why it's important that we talk about it. People get hurt. You can't avoid it. It just happens. And I feel bad for him that he's injury prone. Like, I do. Like, I don't want that for any player. I'm just saying that if I'm a general manager of an NBA team with a star in his 20s, an international superstar who's selling jerseys and tickets and his face is all over our arena, and he is the future of our program, and not only that, he just took us to the finals like yesterday, I don't necessarily know if I'll put all my eggs in the basket of the man who is probably one of the most unreliable superstars ever in Kyrie. No shade to Kyrie. I know he's had a whole redemption arc. However, something always gonna happen. Something always go, and it did, and it was out of his control, and it is not his fault, and that's also probably Nico Harrison's fault, actually, for putting that whole team on Kyrie's back by also getting another aging, unreliable superstar. So people were looking at that team saying, I mean, Nico made a good decision. AD, Kyrie, I mean, could you imagine if they could both stay healthy? I mean, I could imagine a lot of things. I could imagine if I was a billionaire. Would I be here doing this? I don't know. But the point is, we can't live off of hypotheticals, Nico. And he put his job in the hands of some hypotheticals, but then he got lucky again. And the unspeakable happened. The draft lottery in their favor. Now, I don't know if this is controversial, y'all. I don't know how much I believe in the draft lottery. I'm not gonna lie. I might be a skeptic. But after LeBron, during the LeBron versation on Pat McAfee's show, was like, yeah, and I was the first overall pick to my hometown, the lottery. I was like, something's a little fishy with that lottery. But however, the powers that be made it work in Nico's favor, whether that be, chance or Adam Silver in his crystal ball or whatever. But the chips fell where they may, right into his lap, and he gets Cooper Flag. I mean, out with one great white hope and with a new one. No shade, Cooper. But Cooper Flag goes into a win now situation, and you never, I mean, I don't know, I'm not an NBA GM, but if I were, I would say I wouldn't necessarily want my young number one pick going into a win now situation. You know, if I'm a number one pick, I would like to go into a situation where it's very low stakes. I mean, everybody worships me in the city, whether we win or not, and I can, you know, play and be me and be the me I was in college. You got to think, number one picks, it's hard for them because they go straight from winning for like their whole entire life to one of the worst teams in the league. and they experience losing on a level they never had before. Unless you're Jason Tatum, lucky him. But Cooper Flag, it kind of seemed like he got that Jason Tatum treatment going to an already good team. The problem is because they are always struggling with their point guard situation, they got this man passing the ball to people who aren't as good as him. And it is a mess. I mean, how is he supposed to develop that way? He looks frustrated in the post-game presser, talking about this is the most I've ever lost in my life. Welcome to the NBA, buddy. And it's a mess. And now you're putting his development at risk. Everything is a disaster. I mean, when Kyrie comes back, I feel like things will get a little bit better for them. But, I mean, he's also an aging superstar. It's a mess. And not to mention Nico Harrison. Y'all, I don't know if you heard about this, but I was laughing when I heard that Nico Harrison had portable steps put next to his seat at the Mavs games so he could escape quickly and the fans couldn't bother him. Oh my God. Part of me, as somebody who's online a lot and has experienced the vitriol of the internet, feels very bad for him. Like, I am very sorry for him. I don't want to see anybody deal with internet hate and vitriol. But portable steps? I mean, talk about duck and smoke. I ain't never seen that. Oh my God. And that's when we should have known he was on his way out. Then we get the tweet from Shams. I mean, and this is poetic because Shams really takes his job seriously. Shout out to Shams because he tweets, you know, the Mavs are planning to fire Nico Harrison at 10 a.m. Central Time. He tweets this 30 minutes before. The Mavs are going to have a meeting with Nico Harrison where they're going to fire him at 10 a.m. Central Time. How did he even find that out? Let alone tweet it out to us. Could you imagine having a meeting with your boss and you see a tweet from some random person? I mean, it's Shams, not a random person, but you get it. Like, they might not be friends. And he's talking about, yeah, you're getting fired in 30 minutes. Do you know you have 30 minutes? 30 minutes. Like, I would be sick. War is over for the Mavs fans. I mean, this isn't going to bring Luka back. Right? And he got rid of Luka on the precipice of this idea that Luka was like fat and lazy and was never going to get his defense right. And now he's in LA on the cover of Men's Health magazine. This couldn't be further from his expectations. So I feel bad for Nico Harrison. He'll find another home somewhere. I mean, hopefully if he goes back to Nike, you know, he gets his PowerPoint skills back up or his Google Slides skills back up. You know, they got ChatGPT and stuff for that now, Nico. So best of luck to him. But I don't think that this puts the Mavs in any better of a position than they were in before they got rid of him. I mean, it's still the same people. It's still the same owners. It's still the same team. It's still everything is still the same. They still got the same superstars. It's all the same. Meanwhile, Luka is doing crazy things in LA. So, I mean, it's just sometimes you break up with the wrong person. You got to watch them thrive without you. That happens. And Nico, honestly, if you're putting up portable stairs to get out of your seat at a basketball game, I'm glad you're free from that situation. So the question now is, are the Mavs cursed? Are the Mavs cursed? Like, I feel like they have a lot of people to miss right now. Mark, Luka, it's rough for them. But here's the thing. They're the second to last team in the Western Conference with a record of 3-9. The question is, what will it take to get them back to being a championship caliber team besides a miracle? I mean, they currently have Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis, who's injured, Klay Thompson, who's, you know, the sun is coming down for Klay, not because of his beautiful, beautiful girlfriend, probably because of the fact that he tore his Achilles and his ACL. And he's been an NBA player for all of these years, playing at a high level. The man scored 37 points in a quarter, y'all. I mean, Klay he's like that. But I mean, at some point, everybody is, you know, on their way out. It's a blessing that Klay is even playing to the level that he is right now, like playing has an active role on an NBA roster after those two injuries, coming back, winning a championship, getting a couple good years in. Like, he's doing great if you ask me. It's like the Mavs are just like, oh my God, is this some sort of showcase for It's like sad puppies. Oh my God, I'm over them. I'm done talking about them. We're moving on from Dallas. Best of luck to y'all. Ooh, and the Cowboys. Wow. Sorry to Dallas. We're moving on. I hear that Texas has great barbecue. I don't know. Whatever. Focus on something else. Now let's talk about the Clippers. Wow. Speaking of organizations that I don't know what the hell has going on, Bradley Beal is out for the season. I mean, what an expensive bench piece in street clothes. Ooh! No. Okay. Bradley Beal is going to be having season-ending hip surgery, which will be a 6 to 9 month recovery. Ow! Hip surgery? How old is he? What happened? Oh my God. Now, is this something that he can come back from with his previous injury history? I will never be the person to say somebody can't come back from injuries and be the player that they were, because technology is different now. Health is different now. We saw Klay Thompson do it. Kevin Durant, he's been through some crazy injuries, and he has been incredible post-injuries. I mean, we've seen some great things from players post-injury. I don't know how long they last, like the Klay thing. I think he really gave his all to that championship run, and then we're kind of seeing the decline of that. But again, injuries are a part of sports. I can't really tell you if he's going to be the same after that. I hope that for him. The Clippers, it's confusing for me. I think that they have an identity problem. I think this in general about the whole having two teams in LA in all sports situation. It's kind of like somebody's always going to be the stepchild. With identity issues a little bit. Like that's how the Clippers have always felt to me, even with Kawhi, even with Paul George. It's always like, you're still the little brother. You can build this gigantic arena with a wall behind the opposing team's basket and scream and yell and try to build. It's like, but at the end of the day, if you're born in LA, why would you choose to be a Clippers fan? I mean, come on. If I was born in New York, I would just choose to be a Yankees fan. I'm going with whoever has the prettier logo and the nicer merch and the most celebrities that support them. I'm going to be real with y'all. And that makes me sound vapid and not super loyal to my teams. But I live in Atlanta. I would love to have two teams to choose from here, but we don't have that. So LA has that luxury. And if you have that luxury, why the hell would you choose to be a Clippers fan? It's a mess down there. I don't know, but I think that it's time for them to make some moves and build a culture in and of themselves. Could there be a Trae Young trade on the precipice? I mean, we have seen his name attached to LA before. I know he might have preferred the purple and gold, but hey, start something new with the Clips. I mean, look, the Clippers got a lot of thinking to do, but an expensive ass stadium and some seats to fill, so they better figure it out and quickly. All right, y'all. Let's talk about the unprecedented. I mean, not all three are unprecedented. The top three teams in the NBA. I mean, wow. Let's start from number 3, because I just want to say, starting this NBA season, I turned on the game. I don't typically like to watch the West Coast games because it's late as hell and I have a bedtime and a job. However, I turned on the game. I'm like, I'm just going to casually view. And I see this 7'8", very skinny, slim, Eiffel Tower looking, Frenchman and Victor Wembanyama doing things I've never seen a basketball player do before. I mean, literally just taking the ball out of people's hands. And his hand is like, oh, I guess not bigger than my car, but you feel me, kind of the Claw. They need to rename him the Claw. Kawhi Leonard, you can give up that title because, he's just grabbing the ball from people. He's tall as hell. He's blocking. He's playing defense. He's shooting threes. Unreal. I'm looking at this like there's no possible way in hell that this man is not going to be the best big man to ever play basketball by the time he's done with his career. If he stays healthy, there is no way that is not the case. And then Nikola Jokic said, hold my horse. Yeah, this man, it's insane the impact he has when he's on the court on both ends. And to be that big and be able to do the things that he's doing, he is really. But Nikola Jokic is a little different from Wemby because he feels a little bit more traditional in the big man sense. Stephen A. always says he can't jump onto a curb, and it really it gives that. But it feels a little bit more traditional in that sense. But it just works. I believe he's shooting 78% when it comes to twos. Like, he's basically not missing. He's basically just on the court to put the ball in the hoop, and it's going in there. And it's ridiculous, the things that Nikola Jokic is doing. He is a wizard. And they're number 3. Now, they have a record of 9-2. Nikola Jokic is averaging 25.2 points per game, and he's looking to extend their winning streak to 7 games on Saturday against the T-Wolves. I mean, he's unstoppable. And a lot of the things, like when you watch him play, a lot of the things he's doing like aren't necessarily showing up on the stat sheet. He's a great player, and no one will ever be able to convince me that that man doesn't care about basketball. There's no way that the competitor in him didn't see Wemby and was like, please, please watch this. I think that the Nuggets are very scary this season. Number 2, Detroit. Honestly, I am not a hater. I'm a lot of things. I'm not a hater. And I will say, being from Atlanta, and it is a little bit of a sad sports city, outside of the Braves, who have done some things years and years and years ago. This isn't about us. Outside of the Braves and the Georgia Bulldogs, who are 2 hours down the highway, nothing really notable is happening here. And that is a drop in the bucket compared to what Detroit has experienced. They have been so bad at so many things for so long that and the craziest part about it is in Atlanta, I'm not sure how all of the other cities that like really struggle in sports are doing, but in Atlanta at least, when our teams are bad, nobody cares. I mean, nobody's going to the games. I mean, people are waiting for Steph Curry to come to town, and then they'll, pull up to a Hawks game or two. The tickets might be like $12, and it's like, okay, I'll go. Atlanta fans just aren't that loyal. Detroit fans, they ride for their teams. The Lions, the Pistons, they got their season tickets, they got their merch, they are riding for even when there's nothing to ride for. And so to see the Detroit Pistons at number 2 in the league, I mean, look, they're on an 8-game winning streak. They're 10-2. They're Detroit. Detroit just 2 seasons ago set a league record for 27 consecutive losses. Do y'all remember that? They were offering fans free wings from Wingstop if they won a game, and they just lost like 30 times in a row. People were making memes that they were starving the children of Detroit because they were so awful. And now look at them. Look at them go. I'm extremely proud, and I hope that continues. I mean, hopefully they are on an upward trajectory. I'd love to see this new era of teams that we didn't necessarily have on our radar stepping it up. I mean, you've got the young guys in OKC. You've got the Pistons. It's beautiful. Everybody always is pushing the storyline of like the Lakers and what are they gonna do? What's going on? Like it's the Lakers are kind of the Cowboys of the NBA, and the Pistons are like, hey, hi, we exist, and I love that for them. But we got to talk about the number 1 team. And I'm going to give you some predictions later in the show of what I think, but let me just say this team is exactly who the F they think they are. And SGA is exactly who the F he thinks he is. The Oklahoma City Thunder are 12-1. SGA is averaging 33.2 points per game. Like 33.2 points per game. So on average, when he shows up, he's dropping at least 30. That's insane. They're looking to extend their 4-game winning streak against the Utah Jazz. Well, consider it extended. 5-game winning streak. Consider it extended. Lucky them. Yes. Congratulations. Yes. SGA, thinking about him, brings up this conversation to me about international players, right? Because we're looking at this top 3, and we've got a guy like Nikola Jokic, we got a guy like SGA. We're looking forward to this All-Star game, which I don't know if y'all heard about the format, but it was like, I mean, this is how long it is. It's ridiculous. It's 3 8-person teams, and 2 of them are from the U.S., and 1 of them is international. And if we don't vote in enough United States players, then Adam Silver is just going to pick them. It's ridiculous. But I'm so disappointed because with the rise of all of these international players and how well that they are doing and how they're like really they're putting it on in the league, I wanted to just see an international team versus a U.S. team. That's all. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty simple ask, Adam Silver. Why all of the dramatics and the tournaments and the you pick and I pick and we all pick? Why couldn't we just vote in international players, U.S. players, they play against each other, and we all go home? Why do we have to make it confusing? I mean, the international players, this is probably why they didn't do it, because the way they would have put it on our All-Stars, because you got to think, if the fans are voting for the All-Stars, for the starters, whatever, we're voting in the UNC crew. We're voting in the UNC 5. I mean, have y'all seen their media day photos? I mean, they are so UNC now. Like, and I love Steph Curry, Steph, LeBron, KD. I mean, James Harden. Uncville, USA. And so that's probably why they didn't just do USA versus international. Because it would be a bunch of young players. Jokic, a lot younger than he looks, y'all. Write that down. Go Google him. He's a lot younger than he looks. It would just be a bunch of young guys and LeBron's 40-year-old self and Steph. They y'all know that one photo of Jimmy Butler after he carried the Miami Heat. It would be given very much that. So it probably wasn't fair, but they're also not doing positions in the All-Star game. Like, we just vote in the top 5, our favorite, and they're just playing positionless basketball. What the hell? I'm trying to think, is it just going to be like 5? My fear of that is it's going to be like 5 guards. It's just going to be like 5. It's just going to be 5 little guys. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I'm not the commissioner, but I could have probably came up with something better than that. I mean, Jesus. Now, y'all, I don't necessarily, y'all know this if you've watched the show. I've talked about this here before. I don't like to make predictions about the NBA before I've opened up my Christmas presents. I don't. Before Santa comes to town, I don't want to be talking about what's going to happen this summer. I mean, come on. The NBA season is so long. I was going to say 40 days and 40 nights, but it's longer than that. It's so long. I feel like the NBA season lasts, I've lived 1,000 lives by the time it's over. So I don't necessarily want to sit here and tell you guys what's going to happen, because somebody could get injured. Somebody could get traded. This person could be in it. I mean, Luka plays for the Lakers. Could you imagine last November when I'm eating Thanksgiving turkey telling me that? I don't remember what month that happened. It was definitely in the new year for sure. But could you imagine telling me that? I would have been gagged. So take my predictions with a grain of salt. That's all I'm trying to say. However, overall predictions I have on this NBA season don't come from me. Number one, this isn't even an NBA season prediction. Honestly, this is just a prediction in general. So long as Victor Wembanyama stays healthy, he will be in that GOAT conversation. I can promise you that. He will be in that GOAT conversation. Another prediction I have, the Atlanta Hawks are going to trade Trae Young. Finally, release that man. Another prediction I have, I know I was just so nice to the Pistons. I don't know if this is necessarily going to carry over into a playoff run. No shade. I think, I'm not saying they won't go to the playoffs, but I don't think that they're going to be number 2 in the league the whole season. They might be very good and better than they have been this season. I don't know about number 2 in the league when the season is all said and done. Prove me wrong, Detroit. What teams will run the Eastern and Western conferences? There's so much parity in the East that I don't want to be that person, but I can't necessarily give you a full-blown prediction in the East. I'm really confused about what's going on this side of the country. I'm not going to lie. On the West, the Nuggets. The Nuggets. Let's just say that. I don't want to dismiss Oklahoma City. However, I think that the Nuggets are going to have something to say to them for sure this season. So I'm riding for the Nuggets. Who is the most overrated player or team? The Lakers. The Lakers. And I don't think it's not warranted. I mean, LeBron James and Luka Doncic play for the Lakers. I don't think that they're winning a championship. And I'm not going to like entertain the conversation that they are just because they rock purple and gold and LeBron plays there. Y'all know how I feel. Until LeBron retires, we are not going to see them at their full potential. People get so mad at me when I say that. I'm not saying LeBron isn't talented. I'm saying he costs a lot of money. And the things that they could do with that money to build around Luka perfectly, I mean perfectly, swimmingly, they just can't do that with LeBron there. So therefore, I think that we're going to see a different level when he retires. No shade to the James family. Who will be this year's MVP? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, come get your crown. Come get your baddies chain, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Because 33 point, I mean, the man could drop 30 in his sleep. I mean, he's spending half the day thinking about his damn outfit, and he still drops 30 on you. I mean, yeah, give it to him. Here's your crown, buddy. You got it. Who do you want to see in the finals? Who do I want to see in the finals? If I could design my perfect NBA finals, this is gonna, she's a hypocrite. The New York Knicks versus the Los Angeles Lakers. The New York Knicks versus the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, that would bring something, that would awaken something in the basketball spirits. You know what I'm saying? Like that, plus LA, like the Dodgers just won the World Series. They really went hard for that. I really want to see a finals in LA, but I'm like old enough to like really experience it and understand, what's happening. And I'm not talking about the bubble, you guys. I'm not talking about 2020. That doesn't count. I want to see like I want to see the celebs. I want to see the whole energy. And then in New York, I mean, could you, the way they acted in just going to the Eastern Conference Finals, I wanted to see them in the finals so bad. Those fans, I feel like that would, the NBA needs that. The NBA, it's good for the league when the teams that are the most popular are good. I'm sorry. Sorry. So that's what I would want to see. Is it going to happen? Probably not. And last, but certainly not least, who's winning the 2026 NBA Finals? The Denver Nuggets. No explanation needed. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Revolt Sports Weekly and talking basketball with me, my favorite sport. I'm so excited for the rest of the season and to see how my predictions age. But if you want to join the conversation, make sure you're following Revolt Sports on social media and you subscribe to Revolt Sports on YouTube. Thanks for watching.